EA Sports has added over 4 gigabytes of content in today's update, including new game modes, new stadium entrances, new coaching abilities, new defenses, new offensive formations, new plays, and more. And I'm going to show all of it, so if you guys want to see everything that was just added to Madden NFL 26, stick around after the intro. If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 6% off your order. Link in the description below. The champ is here! Now, the first thing you're going to notice is the intro itself has changed to a John Madden reel where it shows a lot of real-life footage from him when he was alive and coaching for the Oakland Raiders.
It's in the game.
Which is also followed by a new default home screen where basically you press any button to start the game, as well as playing behind in the background once the game starts. And it's also accompanied by a throwback theme song from Madden 06, which for a lot of people was probably the height of the entire series. And they also added 2 new games in the quick play menu from the home screen that include Thanksgiving All Madden and Rivalries. And I'll go over the Thanksgiving All Madden first. And I don't know if it's my settings in the audio as I have it set to 50, but there seems to be way too much going on here in the intro to the point where I can't even hear what the announcers are saying. So I don't know if this is just a lack of attention from EA, but ultimately, I mean, it looks great, but the sound quality isn't necessarily that good. And it's also disappointing that John Madden himself isn't calling the game. I mean, they could probably use AI to bring back John Madden and Pat Summerall just to do this game. You know, I'm sure there's ways to do that that would really be interesting, but instead, they just have the normal announcing crew, which is disappointing.
He'll be on both sidelines here in this one, as he'll be coaching some of his favorite players of all time. Should be a special one.
Although they do have moments where John Madden will say some things about his favorite players from the past. I'm guessing they dug up some old audio that he made mention of these players, so that is cool. Now, I also want to show you guys the lineups of the players that are on the All Madden team, as they really don't have a lot of depth here. You can see at running back, they only have 2 guys. If I switch over to receiver, there's really only 4, although they also include Devin Hester, and you can tell that obviously Deion Sanders can play on both sides of the ball, but the roster is very thin. If you want to see your favorite players, I'm just going to go through this, and I'm also going to talk about it. There's a lot of players here that I feel like are missed if you actually ever listen to John Madden. You know who his favorite players were, specifically at quarterback. If Brett Favre's not the quarterback, I mean, John Madden used to just gush about him all the time. Larry Allen was one of his favorite players. He had a lot of favorite players that are not on these teams, as I'm sure that the likeness rights of this are typically rolled over from MUT. So I'm sure just about every single player you're seeing here is already getting paid a hefty check to be in the game in Ultimate Team. And that's probably why you're only seeing a small amount, especially when it comes to the depth chart, as you typically don't even appear that you have enough to fill out the entire roster. Now, on the other side, where you have the current players, there you have a full-length roster based off the fact that all these players are currently, likeness rights are signed over from the Players Association. Now, I do have a couple issues with guys like Cam Scatterboo being on the team, who just got in the league, even though I know he's really popular. Taysom Hill at tight end is ridiculous. We also have Ladd McConkey. I don't even know who Jackson Halls is. So there's a couple of guys on the actual current Stars team that doesn't really make a lot of sense at all, even though, like I said, I love me some Taysom Hill, especially in Madden, as he's so fast. He's probably the tight end that I would use on this team, but there are a lot of players here that it really makes you question how they got on the all-time or the current Superstars team based off of their rating and the fact that they haven't had a huge impact in the game. Those 2 are probably my biggest, but you can see there's a lot of lesser rated players on the actual current Stars team. And then we have the Turducken ceremony, which is obviously really cool to add this to the game before Thanksgiving.
And taking a big bite after a hard-fought victory.
And I have to cut some of this stuff off for copyright purposes, but I just wanted to point out that this does look really cool, with the exception of Jamar Chase here, who looks like he's just now learning how to eat food. And we also have the rivalries tab, which I'll go over next, as I do feel like this is a bit incomplete. It seems to be just around the actual jerseys that got rivalry jerseys. It doesn't seem to have every rivalry, so I see no Eagles rivalry here. They also made some changes to the uniforms. You'll notice here that this logo, this NFL shield on every player is white, except for the players that received awards last year. They got the opportunity to wear the gold emblem all year. As you can see right here, Saquon Barkley's is very different than Lane Johnson. Didn't win any award. So Saquon Barkley has it for Offensive Player of the Year. Josh Allen has it for MVP. Patrick Surtain has it for Defensive Player of the Year. Josh Daniels has it for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Jared Verse has it for Defensive Rookie of the Year. We also got some new face scans with Brandon Jones, the safety from the Denver Broncos. Cincinnati running back Chase Brown got a new face scan. Looks just like his picture. Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Bucky Irvin got a face scan. He's now in the game. And Saints quarterback Spencer Rattler got a brand new face scan to be in the game. We also got some really cool new intros featuring some celebrities, including Snoop Dogg for the Pittsburgh Steelers. For the Seattle Seahawks, they have Marshawn Lynch raising up the 12th man flag. They also added a similar 12th man ceremony, only with the Tennessee Titans and their mascot T-Rack. They also had a lot of new players with X Factors and Superstar abilities, starting off with Puka Nacua, who got Double Me, Route Technician, Short End Elite, Mid End Elite, and they also gave some Superstar abilities to Matthew Stafford, who got Set Feet Lead and Long Range Deadeye to be able to throw the ball much deeper, since he's one of the best deep passing quarterbacks in the NFL. Baker Mayfield got Brick Wall. I don't think anybody else has Brick Wall in the entire game. He also got Pass Lead Elite, Inside Deadeye, and Gutsy Scrambler, while Jonathan Taylor got Freight Train, Armbar, Tank, and Closer, and fellow Colts player, rookie tight end Tyler Warren got Mid Out Elite and Short Out Elite. We also got Dak Prescott, who got Run and Gun, Anchored Extender, Gutsy Scrambler, and Inside Deadeye, and Jake Ferguson, his tight end, also got Mid In Elite and Short Out Elite. As you know, that's a lot of superstars for a player that has a below 500 record. Next up, we have the Jackson Smith and Jigba, which is probably the biggest one. He got Double Me, Deep Out Elite, and Mid Out Elite, and I think Prod should have got Route Technician as well. We got Leonard Williams on the same team. We got El Toro and Bogo. He used to have superstar abilities. I think he must have lost him and he now got him back. We also got Jahmyr Gibbs, who has First One Free, Evasive, and Human Joystick. I'm surprised that he didn't have something sooner. And their quarterback, Jared Goff, also got Pocket Deadeye, which says perfect pass accuracy when throwing in the pocket, but it should mean a clean pocket. Devin A-Chain got backfield mismatch, as if he wasn't already a big backfield mismatch, but he does catch a lot of passes in that offense. And then Devin Lloyd, who did lead the NFL in interceptions earlier in the year, got Pick Artist and Short Route KO, as well as Jordan Love finally getting something. He's got Tight Out and Sideline Deadeye. And Rico Dowdle only got Tank, as I feel like he probably should have got more, as he's having a monster year. We also have Bucky Irvin, who got Jukebox and Human Joystick. I think that feels like a lot for Bucky Irvin, who's a really good player. And then the Denver Broncos got Garrett Bowles and Nick Bonito. Garrett Bowles got Secure Protector, while Nick Bonito got Edge Threat, which is dominant pass rush moves from the edge. We also got a new coach archetype called Master Motivator, but if you want to play as John Madden himself, you can do that. You just have to pick the Oakland Raiders or the Las Vegas Raiders that they're called now, and it'll allow you to select John Madden as your current head coach. We also got some new abilities based off of John Madden, including Run It Right At Him, Boom Run It Right At Him, which is +5 run block power for all offensive linemen, +5 blocking for all tight ends and fullbacks at tier 2, and then you have better run blocking on run plays on early downs, first and second down, and reduced defender ability to disengage from run blocks in the fourth quarter. We also have Make 'Em Cover It All, which has +3 deep route running for all receivers and tight ends, +3 pass blocking on tier 2 for offensive linemen. Tier 3 has increased QB accuracy on deep pass concept plays, and then Tier 4 has +3 throw power on all quarterbacks. Next up on defense, we have Win With 4, which increases the +5 move for all defensive linemen at Tier 1. Tier 2 is significant block shed success for all defensive linemen. Tier 3 is reduced double team effectiveness against DTs, and then Tier 4 is increased pressure effect on quarterbacks on third downs. We also have Jam 'Em Up, which is +3 press for all cornerbacks, increased zone coverage for safeties and cover 2 man in Tier 2, and then reduced wide receiver release success for press coverage in Tier 3, as well as increased chance to force inaccurate throws in press coverage in Tier 4. Now, the biggest one here here, and probably the meta, would be the either teach 'em up, which is +3 awareness for all players at tier 1, +2 play rec for all players at tier 2, +3 stamina for all players at tier 3, and then +2 catching for all players at tier 4. But the meta will definitely be the all Madden effect, is to add +2 strength to all players at tier 1, +3 change of direction for all players at tier 2, +2 acceleration for all players at tier 3, and +1 speed for all players at tier 4. We also got 2 new play sheets. Tier 1 unlocks the play sheet with a lot of balanced power formations. Tier 2 is +3 to all run blocking attributes for all offensive linemen from that play sheet. Tier 3 is +3 to play action and throw action attributes for all quarterbacks, and then Tier 4 is +3 acceleration and agility to all running backs. For defense, we have hit him at the line, which unlocks the play sheet for 4-3, 3-4, and nickel formations. But tier 2, you have +5 finesse and block shed moves for all edge defenders and defensive tackles. And then for tier 3, you got +5 acceleration for all linebackers and DBs on the play sheet plays. And then tier 4, +5 man coverage and press attributes for all defensive backs. They also add a bunch of new plays, including nerfing the Y flat quick out of the gun bunch strong nasty, changing the route outside, as this route now doesn't beat any defense in the game, really. They also added 3 basically identical formations with different personnel, including the load double mug, the 2-4 load double mug, which, like I said, these all just change personnel slightly, and the 3-3 load double mug, as they all pretty much have the exact same plays. And they're all somewhat fashioned behind the meta double mug that people have been using all year. So there's going to be more plays like that. But I want to show you guys the Blitz Loop 0 here, as this play looks really interesting because it has a lot of natural stunts and twists. As all I really did when messing around with this was take this blitzing outside cornerback and then move him in closer to the line so I could try to mess with the lineman's targeting. And you're going to see that because of all these looping stunts and twists, we get a pretty decent natural pressure from it. It may not be as quick as the mid blitz, but you can see how it's still very effective. Next up, I'm going to go over some new offensive playbook formations that were added, starting off with the San Francisco 49ers that added the gun empty bunch tight. These are some of the plays here, but they have a really unique one here in the clear deep, that all you really have to do is run from a hash mark to the open side of the field, put this outside receiver on a corner route, and you can bomb it up to both either this kind of slot fade receiver look that we have here against cover 3, or you could actually throw it to the RB tight end, who also gets open running across the safety's face. So you really have 2 options here. The Bears add a formation called the wing flex offset weak. The Denver Broncos add a running formation called the full house tight, which has no receivers on the field. The Chargers, Saints, and Jaguars all added a new formation called the gun bunch tight end weak, although this formation doesn't necessarily look as meta as I was hoping, but there's definitely a lot of interesting route concepts here if you like to use a lot of bunch formations. The Dolphins added a Go-Go Twins flex formation out of the shotgun, which has a lot of really interesting looking short passing concepts, some very interesting routes, and also some very interesting run plays. The Philadelphia Eagles playbook added the gun wing, which is going to have a lot of really unique quarterback runs. So if you like to run with the quarterback, as they do have some of the more overpowered run plays, I highly recommend checking out this formation. And they also add the single back wing, which has more traditional under center runs like the stretch and the toss. The Atlanta Falcons added the pistol double hip, and this one here is probably my favorite because of these 2 stacked receivers, as they have a lot of really interesting looking run plays, but the pass plays are what I'm really interested in, as this particular pass play here, the PA post shot, looks like an easy one-play touchdown against cover 3 simply by putting this B receiver here on a comeback route. But you're going to want to make sure that you block the tight end so that he actually helps out in pass pro. The Giants and Packers both add the gun split Y off close, as this formation here looks like one of my favorite, but they have a really good run play here in the outside zone, as this play has a stock receiver at one of the running back spots. So if you have a really fast receiver, you can run this to the edge outside very easily, and you can see how consistent it is as I run it on back-to-back plays, and we take it to the house both times, as the blocking on this play is just really overpowered. The New York Jets added a gun wing tight flip formation, which has a lot of tight ends and is really designed to be another good quarterback running formation, as they have a play called the QB zone, as well as some inside runs that really take advantage of Justin Fields' ability to run with the quarterback. The Lions and the Titans add the gun bunch Y trips, which is another bunch variation, even though it doesn't look like it, as this has a lot of really cool plays, especially when it comes to motions, which I know are kind of the meta, as a lot of people like to use motion plays. They also add the Maryland I tight close and another tight formation called the close, as these formations here are probably better to pass from, as there's some really interesting passing concepts, but I don't think the run plays are very good, because to me it's best to spread the defense out rather than condense them. The Raiders add the gun U off trips flex, which I thought was going to be a little bit more like the formation I use out of the Commanders, but it isn't. But it still has some very interesting route concepts to this formation. The Seahawks add the weak wing, but if I'm being honest, these route concepts and plays look like something you would find just about any weak formation. The Steelers add the gun wing trips weak nasty, which has a play called the all-go halfback choice, which looks like another really good play against cover 3. So all you have to do is custom stem this corner route down to the outside, and both the A tight end who crosses the safety is going to be a one-play touchdown once again, as the RB receiver will also get open up the seam, making this a very versatile play. They also added 4 new formations to Kurt Banker's dimes, including the gun doubles flex, the gun normal Y off week, the gun trio halfback week, and the gun wide trips week, but none of them really looked as OP as the 2 formations he added the last time. And they also add a new alternate playbook called the Oakland John Madden playbook, where this is a lot of old school stuff. There's really only 3 shotgun formations in the entire playbook, 1 empty formation, which I'm sure never really used in real life. They do have this really good end around play though in the single back that I was messing with that is pretty much a big play guaranteed most times. So that's another really good play to check out. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there though, as I showed you guys just about everything. But if you want to see me break down more of these plays in the future, I will be doing that. So make sure to be a subscriber. And other than that, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.